Hello, and welcome, my friends, to the next video in the Create Better Content series, where I show you how to tap into your creativity so that you never run out of content ideas again. My name is Penny, and I am your guide, and I'm also the developer of this unique creative content development process. And I want to teach you how to create more engaging content that you want to post on social media, more remarkable content that you want to add into your sales pages and your email messages. All of these things together that will help you reach more qualified customers. And if you want to learn more about creativity and how this can help you develop your content marketing plans, I would love to see you hit that button below and subscribe to this channel. As far as below goes, you're also going to see in the description box some links. The first link that you'll see is for my book called I Just Did a Thing. And in my book, I go into the detail about the science behind why tapping into your creativity can really help you with your content creation. You may not understand the difference between the right brain, left brain, and that's what my book is going to walk you through. It's going to show you how you can work through your content creation as well as making some really big changes in your business. The second link that you'll see is to subscribe to the Create Your Business program, so you can personally go through this process that I'm talking about in all of my videos, understanding how to develop remarkable content with the interactive workbooks that show up in your inbox and the creative tools that show up to your front door, and how it all comes together. So today's video, speaking of coming together, I want to talk about the customer buyer's journey, the actual mapping process itself. And the reason that I wanted to go back into this, because I've done some videos about this before, but I haven't actually touched on the mapping part of it, is because we actually had a conversation. I have a group program called Create Remarkable Content on LinkedIn. It's a free group, and I will put the link below in the description box, and you'll see if you want to come join us. And we actually got into a conversation. Once a month we get together for a live Zoom call where we can talk about where we're struggling with our marketing, if we have a challenge or a question. And this kept coming up over and over and over again about the customer buyer's journey. So I thought that this would be a really good piece to talk about today, because the mapping process itself is like a visual representation of all the engagement that a customer has with your business, whether your business is a service or a product. Because the journey map, it lays out all of these touch points and all of these pieces and parts that your customer, has with direct contact with your business, from the moment that they first heard about you through social media to their interactions with your product or going to your website. And it also includes all the actions that your customer takes to complete the point where they actually, where you make a sale. So let's talk about this today, because I think it's a really important piece with regards to your content as well as your marketing. Because the goal of this process, the goal of the customer journey map, is to draw insights and help you understand how your customers experience the process from when they first hear about you to when they hit that buy here button. And while you're moving along the way, it also helps you identify some potential, the word I'm looking for, bottlenecks. The things that are going to stop them, that maybe they'll dump out on the sales page, or maybe they will unsubscribe to your email list. All of those things are like bottlenecks that stop them along their customer journey, from the awareness to consideration to making that decision about you. And when I'm talking about this whole thing with the customer journey, while it is connected to the sales funnel, it is directly connected to the sales funnel, I want you to also think about it from this perspective. It's important to realize that the customer journey isn't linear. It's more of this back and forth, cyclical, multi-channel type of journey that they go to. And as I always say with everything, there's no right way, there's no wrong way, there's only your way. So there is no correct or incorrect way to create this customer journey map. What it is it has everything to do with aligning your journey map with who the customer is and the steps and the stages that makes sense for your business to measure along the way. That is what the journey is about. You can see how very general that definition was, because I want you to think about it from that perspective. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. There's not you going into this thinking, oh, I did this wrong and this isn't working for me. What you're going to do is you're going to map this out, and as you move through this process and you find ways to measure this, because it is important to measure it so that you know that it's working, that is going to help you as you are moving through this process of helping potential customers who have just found awareness of you on a social media post or social media ad or whatever it is that you're doing, to actually getting on your sales page and hitting that buy here button. So when you're creating this customer journey map, you're basically thinking about the touch points at every stage of the journey. You're basically thinking about the process of this instead of just leaving it up to, oh, maybe they'll click on this, or crossing my fingers and hoping crossing fingers and toes and hoping that they'll, take action. What we're wanting to do is we want to think about it based on these simple questions. We want to think about it from the perspective of, is whatever your customers, what are they thinking about? How are they feeling about the situation, their challenge, their options, their solution, and what are they going to be doing about this? Because marketing is basically a result of cause and effect. Every action that your customer takes is motivated by a cause. And a lot of time that cause is motivated by is motivated by emotion. And emotion is going to get them to take the action. So the emotion is, I'm stressed out and I need some relief. The emotion could be, I'm overwhelmed and I need some help. This is broken and I'm upset about it and this is what I need to fix. Everything is going really good with this and I just need this to keep going into a better place to make me even more happier. So the motivation is connected to emotions, and your customer emotions will change depending upon what part of the journey they're at. So, if they're at the pain point, at the problem, the challenge, at the very original of it, that is one of those emotional drivers of your customer's actions. And understanding and knowing this, knowing what they're thinking, what they're feeling, what they're doing, knowing these types of things, answering these questions is going to help you provide the right content and hopefully at the right time so that you can resonate with this customer's emotional journey and you can move them through your business. So let's think about this from the different stages. When we first want to look at the customer journey map, we want to go through the idea of the awareness, and generally from that first place where somebody's starting is an obstacle, a challenge, a pain point. So I want you to get to know what roadblocks are stopping your customer so that they're actually going to reach their desired solution that they're looking for. One of the common obstacles that they have is cost. They always say something like, I love your product, but if I had like a high shipping rate when I finally, get to my cart and I add everything up and like, holy crap, I didn't realize it was going to cost me this much to get here, I could just abandon my cart and just leave. So think about it from that place. Think about it from not just like I'm struggling emotionally on something, but think about the common obstacles like cost, like time, like value. Those kinds of intangible types of things are also challenges, are also obstacles that we want to be thinking through. And when we look at these potential obstacles in your customer journey, it can help you understand where they are so that you can provide some content that's giving them a solution. It's really similar to thinking about when we all do an FAQ page, like a frequently asked questions page, and we think about all of the questions that people are asking us, the common questions, like shipping costs, all of those things, the value, the time it would take, and all of those things. When we think about the FAQ, we think about questions that we get asked all the time. And then when we try to create content that can offset that, I don't want to say offset that, that can help somebody understand it a little bit better and how your business is the solution to what they're looking for, that's what I'm talking about. And that type of moment, those types of understanding of that solution for that FAQ question is considered a touch point. This is a touch point in the customer journey map where your customer can actually form an opinion about your business. And we find these touch points in places where the customer comes into direct contact with the business. And again, it could be a social media post. It could be a social media ad that you're running. You're running Facebook ad or Instagram ads or LinkedIn ads. That's a touch point. It could be the fact when they get to your website. That's a touch point. It could be the email opt-in that pops up in front of them. That's a touch point. So when we think about all this, when we dive into understanding how to map out our customer journey, I want you to ask yourself why you're creating this map to begin with. What are the goals that are directing you? Who's it for? What is their experience based upon? It all comes together like this. So it's not just about saying, okay, I want somebody to buy this product. We have to think about it from the perspective of from the awareness consideration to the decision, which is the customer buyer's journey. How do we get them to move through this with these touch points? So the first thing that you're going to do, after of course you've understood what your goal is with the map and how pulling it all together is going to help you understand the different touch points of content that you want to create, the first thing I want you to do is think about creating a customer persona or avatar. Either one of those, everybody uses those two words interchangeably, so I'm going to use the word persona. Because the thing is the customer is very specific to their habits and their behaviors. So if we are creating our customer journey map and we are creating these ideas and these places and spaces for us to do touch points and creating content around that, if we don't really truly understand who this customer is, we're just creating stuff because we think it might be fun for them to do this. We think they might get this. Hopefully they might understand this. That's not what we want to do. We really want to get focused on who this customer is and who we are talking to. So we create this customer persona, and this is, kind of represents our customer. We want to imagine the customer's age, where they work, how do they work, are they an entrepreneur, do they work for a company, do they work for a small company, do they work for a large company? There's huge differences. What are their goals, what is creating inside of them that this is becoming a challenge that they're looking for the solution. We want to think about it from that perspective, and we want to think about a way that we can step into your customer's shoes and thoroughly develop what would be considered the customer journey story. So where do they get to that place where they've had the awareness that I need help with something and I need a product, I need a service, to when they finally feel the trust and the acceptance that this is the solution for me. That is the journey that they're going to go on, and that's what you're going to map out. And the second thing that you're going to do is I want you to decide what you want to measure. It's one thing for us to understand who these customers are and how they move through the whole mapping process and how their buyer's story, so to speak. But for this to work, for the map to work, for the whole customer journey for that matter to work, you need to be able to measure this. So I want you to think about what you're going to measure and what is the goal that you're trying to achieve. Maybe what you're looking for is, how that they could, sign on to your email list. How does the conversion on the email list turn into them buying a smaller product? How does that smaller product then upsell into your group program and then upsell into the mastermind group or whatever your process is? And we think about a product. Is there the first product that they could buy, that they could kind of quote unquote test out whether this is the thing that they want. Is it a program that they could do a free download for? And all of those things can be measured. We can see by our Google Analytics the number of people that are going to that landing page. We can see by our email program how many people are A, going to that page, B, downloading the content or adding their email for the free download, and C, we also get results of people going through your email sequences to see where they've dumped out, if they've unsubscribed, if they've clicked on the links. We can actually measure this information. And that is a super important thing. So it's not just about creating this content, it's about making sure that it is measurable. And then the other thing that I want you to do, and this is the biggest part of the customer journey map process, is once you understand who your customer is, and once you understand what it is that you are measuring, and making sure that there is actual data connected to it and not just, I think they want this, or I'm kind of hoping they want this, you need to have the real numbers. So you want to think about it from that perspective. And so when we take all of those things together, then we do that last step of organizing these touch points along the different stages. And when I talk about the different stages, I am referring to those 3 stages of awareness, consideration, and decision. Those are the 3 stages of the customer buyer's journey. So we want to think about the touch points that will get them to move. Think about the research that you've done and the process that you have gone through. And my thought is, you may have an original idea in your head about the list, like a list of all the touch points your customers are currently using and the ones that you believe that they should be using. So I want you to think about it from identifying all touch points. Kind of do like a touch point brain dump. I guess that's a good way to say it. Put it all down there, that this is what they're doing right now. This is what I would like for them to be doing. This is what I want them to do, because the touch point is any moment that a customer interacts with your business. So think about it from there. So it could be, I want to do some ads on Facebook. I want to do a thank you note that they receive after a purchase. I want to do an email sequence after they have purchased it so that they can go to the next place. And where's the next place? Maybe it's to join the membership group. Maybe it's to buy this next product. These are all of these touch points that you want to identify. So, obviously, aside from your website, we need to look at how your customers are going to find you online. And that's a part of the touch points as well. Could be social media, social media platforms, all social media platforms. I'm not going to say one or the other. I would include all of them in this. Paid ads is another touch point. Email marketing is touch point. Third-party reviews or mentions, or any way that you can have somebody do recommendations about you. Those are all touch points. And so these are things, mostly, especially, we don't know so much about the third-party reviews or the mentions, but the rest of them, the actual action itself, is under your control. You decide when you're going to post it, and you decide what you're going to say. So this is where you can take control of the map. And you can look at things like your Google Analytics to verify where your traffic is coming from. And then you can know, okay, these are the landing pages I need to be focusing on. You can look at your customers' action throughout each interaction that they are currently having with your business. It could be that maybe they're using special keywords on a Google search, or when they log in to their email and they see your email. So you're going to probably wind up with this really, really long list of touch points, and that is totally fine, because you would rather have more touch points than like 3 touch points, because the more you can have, the better your chances of creating a more clear and defined customer journey map. And I also want you to think about it from this perspective too, that as you are working through this process, I want you to look at the touch points And also think about them from the sense of where would they fit in these stages? And if they're are they part of the awareness? Is this me just is are these social media ads, are these Instagram ads, is this an awareness campaign? Is this email download part of the consideration process? Is my landing page, my sales page, part of the decision process? So this is what I mean by that. So after you've gotten your list together of your touch points, I want you to start thinking about which touch point would go into which type of stage. Again, awareness, consideration, decision. And what you're going to do is you're going to kind of group them in. And what'll happen is you're going to start seeing this. And whether you do this by hand, writing this out by hand, or you do it digitally, you do it in a Word doc, you do it in an Excel spreadsheet, you do it in a mind map, which would probably be so super cool to see it on a mind map. Because it is a visual thing, you're going to start to see that, okay, all of these touch points are connected to the awareness. All of these touch points are connected to my consideration. And this is what's going on with the decision. And this is what's going to help you, that when you take a look at this, when you look at this map and you look at these touch points that are connected to each one of these pieces and parts of the stages, that's what's going to help you develop the content. Because when you fully understand your customer's experience with your business, you can create content that resonates with them at every single stage of their buying journey. Because remember how this works. There's many, many factors. And like I said to you earlier in this video, this journey is not just like some linear thing. Sometimes we go up here, we go down here, we go around here. We may even hit consideration and go back to awareness. And so that is what we want to think about, how we're going to get them through this process to the final decision of making that sale. So many, many factors actually affect this journey, including the different customer pain points, the emotions that they're feeling as they're moving through this. And so your company, your business's touch points along the way, and the content that you're going to create is going to be the way that you're going to help them move through this process. So the customer journey map, if you really sit down and take the time to do this, you are going to find that is going to be one of the most effective ways for you to visualize this information, whether you're looking to optimize your customer experience, or maybe your business is looking for an opportunity to, serve with a new product or a new service, something that as you're moving through this, you're like, wow, I think a lot of people might need this. That's another thing that it's going to do. So remember, when it all comes together, that it's about not just that it's one and done, but your customer journey map is a constant work in progress. That's why you're measuring these things. You're going to see what's working and what's not working. You're going to review it monthly or quarterly, and it's going to help you identify gaps. It's going to help you see what's working and what's not working, and it's going to come together to help you create content, and it's going to show you opportunities for further streamlining that customer journey, and it's going to show you that it's just more than just creating content for the pure sake of content. It's about creating content that's going to develop meaningful connections so that you can turn these customers into loyal fans. So thank you so much for joining me today on this creative journey. If you've enjoyed this content about creativity and content creation, please hit that share button. And let's keep this conversation going. But I do want to let you know that if you are ready to dig into this deep work of developing your content marketing strategy, and you're ready to do this in a different way, the link is below to subscribe to the Create Your Business program. You're going to stop saying, I'm stuck and I don't know what to do with my marketing messages. And when you're interactive workbook shows up in your inbox and those creative tools show up at your front door, you're going to start believing that you know what to do to come up with your marketing messages and see results. Seriously, my friends, if a self-study program and a subscription box had a baby, it would be the Create Your Business program. It's marketing in a box for entrepreneurs who are ready to tap into their creativity so that they never run out of content ideas again. You are magnificent, my friend, and let me be the first to say, I'm proud of you. Until next time.